Hey, what's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope and Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. And first off, I want to give a number for the Red Cross: 1-800-435-7669. That's 1-800-435-7669. Those are for the tragedy that happened in the Philippines. My thoughts and prayers go out to you. Hope that I know that's it's a long way to recovery, but at the same time, I hope all family members and friends and loved ones are accounted for. Anyway, this is actually kind of about the Philippines because it's Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. And first of all, Cotto fans out there, don't get mad at me, okay? I have Cotto losing, but I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I wouldn't just put Pacquiao by knockout like a lot of people are saying on the internet. So this is just a fantasy matchup breakdown because so many people want this fight to happen, and a lot of my subscribers have told me or asked me to make a video about this, so I'm going to do it. It's a fantasy matchup of Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao. First of all, let's just talk about Floyd Mayweather against southpaws. Zab Judah and DeMarcus Corley were southpaws. A lot of people point to those fights and say that it's going to be, he has problems basically against those styles, and that Manny Pacquiao, being a great southpaw, will definitely be able to put hands on him and knock him out. A lot of people say that, and have great success just because of those two fights. Now it's a very good true statement, and a lot of these points can be counterpointed, and that's kind of when I want to talk about a few things about this matchup. It's not about picking a winner and a loser, just talking about certain things in the matchup, and that's a good point. I will say this though, DeMarcus Corley had some success and even buzzed Floyd a couple times, but he didn't really win a lot of rounds. Whereas Zab Judah, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you could definitely say it was a tied fight. Some people have Zab up after 6, whatever. But either way, he was winning rounds. The thing about Zab though, because you got to look at that hand speed, and he has Floyd and Pacquiao's hand speed. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but Zab does have world-class hand speed and a lot of pop and power. The thing about the Zab fight though, is Floyd had the hands up and he was in the pocket right away in the fight. He didn't really show too much lateral movement at all. He didn't really go backwards at all. He didn't box anything. He was really just going at Zab, and that's how you beat Zab. You have to walk him down, and slowly but surely he walked him down, and so that's kind of a counterpoint. Although I do think Pacquiao would put hands on Floyd and definitely hit him plenty. You can't really compare that fight exactly just because they're southpaw against southpaw. Just like people say, like Zab's style is not necessarily an aggressive style, like Manny Pacquiao. So you can't really just say because of those two fights of southpaw that's why Manny's going to win. Although it's a fair point and a good point, and definitely I do think Pacquiao will be able to land plenty of punches on Floyd. Although we all know a straight right hand is a good weapon against a southpaw, and we all know Floyd has a great straight right hand. On to another point, Floyd against, and this kind of has to do with Zab too, Floyd against the jab. A lot of people, including Oscar De La Hoya, when he's promoting a fight against Floyd, says all you really have to do is stick to the jab. And he says, Zab had early success with the jab, and then he was countered. And then Oscar had early success, and it was countered. And that's the point. A lot of people just go off what Oscar says. And after the fight, Oscar said, I don't know. It just wasn't a jab night. I don't know why I stopped throwing it. It was a big mistake. No, it wasn't a big mistake because you were getting countered. And that's what he did against Oscar, and that's what he did against Zab. He counters the jab. So you can't just say who's ever got a good jab or a jab's going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Like a lot of, a fair amount of writers and definitely fans out there say if you just jab him, he's going to have a bunch of problems. First of all, everyone kind of has problems with the jab for a while. It's a good weapon, but that's not just going to beat Floyd. Pacquiao has an okay jab. He doesn't really use it much. He's definitely become a two-handed fighter in the last couple of years. So although it's a good weapon, but it's not the end-all be-all punch to beat Floyd Mayweather. Let's talk about Pac-Man. Pac-Man versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Marquez is a good counterpuncher, great counterpuncher, I should say, and is just a smart fighter that makes adjustments. And he was able to use Pacquiao's aggressiveness against him. Well, Floyd Mayweather is a smart fighter. He can counterpunch, and he's much faster, bigger, longer reach, and better defensive fighter as far as just the rope-a-dope and, or not the rope-a-dope, but the shoulder roll and lateral movement. So that is a fair point. I mean, if Marquez was able to counterpunch and time, use that aggressiveness of Pacquiao's against him, Floyd Mayweather should be able to land plenty of punches that way and have definitely, definitely a good chance to win the fight that way. Basically, in this fight, you'll have the best offense, because I do think Manny Pacquiao now, these last couple of years that he's adjusted, especially after the Morales, the first fight, he's adjusted his style to where he's not just throwing straight left hands. His footwork's got a lot better. Obviously, his head movement's gotten a lot better, and putting the hands up and not just doing this for, or like maybe a minute of the round or 30 seconds of the round, and then just brawling kind of flat-footed. He's got great footwork now. He's in and out, 1-2 style. So he is the most complete offensive fighter in the game. You'll also have the best defensive fighter. So you have the best offense against the best defense. Now, in most sports, defense wins championships, but in boxing, it doesn't always mean that, because you also have to be busy enough to win rounds. So that's just an interesting matchup anytime you get the best offense going against the best defense. What are some other points here? Oh, actually, just pay-per-view, too. I mean, this is a fight that could really bring in the mainstream, and no matter what Bob Arum and Freddie Roach say, it'll be a fun fight to watch because of Pacquiao's style. So you might have a guy coming off 1 million buys in Mayweather, and maybe 1 million with Pacquiao and Cotto, and then them together could do 1.5, 2, maybe over 2 million pay-per-views. So I think it'd be a good thing for boxing. I think it'd be a really, really great matchup. And those are just some of the things that you got to go over and think about while you're breaking down this fight. There are other things. Leave some comments on some other key points to this fight, and any shows out there, fans, make a video response. Anyway, this is the Rope-a-Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.